feeling great. I've been working out. You know, actually, I just got done running before we, head into the press conference. So everything is going according to plan, and I'm looking forward to becoming a 3-time undisputed champion come September 13th.
For years, boxing fans have argued about who truly deserves the title of pound-for-pound king. Terence "Bud" Crawford has dismantled every man placed in front of him. Canelo Alvarez, on the other hand, has carried the sport on his back, jumping weight classes, dominating champions, and becoming the face of modern boxing. But now, the whispers are growing louder. Could the unthinkable happen? Could Crawford really step up and challenge Canelo Alvarez in...
Rafael kind of made a great point when talking about sizes. Because he said, if you look at them two together now, they look the same size. He said, people have got the idea of the size thing wrong. It's not looking at them as a physical package. It's who has absorbed the bigger shots in the weight division. So, and it was good. It was a very good point. He was like, Canelo has been hit by light heavyweights and super middleweights for the better part of a decade.
Basically.
He's so used to taking those shots, whereas Crawford hasn't. Crawford's been hit by 140 guys and 147 guys for the best part of a decade.
Yeah.
What's Crawford going to be like? So basically, he's trying to say, Canelo could easily absorb Crawford shots. Can Crawford easily absorb Canelo's punches?
If you're taking shots from Triple G, Sergei Kovalev, Dimitri Bivol, and you're staying on your feet, not getting hurt,
not even getting wobbled.
Not even getting wobbled, just literally shaking it off.
Yeah.
You can take Terence Crawford shots.
100%.
what some are already calling the most dangerous fight of his career. The buzz started when Crawford's longtime trainer, Brian "Bomac" McIntyre, finally broke his silence. And his words weren't cautious, they were bold, even defiant. While critics claim Bud is too small, too light, and too fragile to handle the raw power of Canelo, Bomac laughed it off. Canelo might be bigger, but Bud's been fighting bigger men his whole life, he said with a calm confidence that stunned even the harshest doubters. According to Bomac, size is nothing more than a distraction. Skills, adaptability, and composure, that's what wins fights. And in his eyes, Crawford has every single one of those qualities at the highest level. But here's where it gets interesting. This isn't just another
Canelo Alvarez, right? Obviously he has a big fight against Terence Crawford, who's coming up in weight. But I keep telling people that Canelo is small for 168. It's not like he's a big 168 pounder. So the size difference isn't that much, in my opinion, right? I mean, I know he's been there longer, right? But Bud is slightly taller than him, longer arms than him. Do you feel that Terence has a shot in beating Canelo Alvarez?
That's the million-dollar question, because I'm a historian. I love boxing. I love watching it. I love studying it. I know it inside out. When I watched Terence Crawford get rattled and rocked by Yorkis Gamboa, who's a natural 30-pounder, that to me is going to be a huge problem when he gets hit by Canelo, who's a natural super middleweight, maybe? Or
but that was so
not that high.
But you know, he fought at what, 190? Canelo?
175.
175? 175? Okay. So he fights at 175. He's fighting these big monsters. Yeah. He's not getting rattled at all. No. Berlanga's a big kid. Right. Yeah. So it makes me think, I mean, how is Crawford going to keep him away for 12 rounds? Canelo's going to come at him hard.
Fight. If Crawford dares to climb those extra weight classes, it won't simply be about money or fame. It will be about rewriting the entire boxing hierarchy. Imagine it if Crawford pulls it off. He doesn't just become another champion. He becomes the man who toppled the sport's biggest superstar. The man who proved that brains, timing, and technical brilliance can conquer raw size and power. Still, not everyone is buying it. Analysts are quick to remind us that Canelo isn't just another big man. He's a Mexican warrior who has walked through the fire time and time again. He's taken bombs from Gennady Golovkin and smiled.
But then again, I think about Crawford's abilities and his IQ and his footwork, which Canelo cannot handle. And we know that for a fact. It happened with Bivol, it happened with Mayweather, who schooled him left and right with no problem, and Canelo was way stronger than Mayweather. So there's
Don't
a lot
you think Canelo's a better fighter than he was then? Today?
A better fighter? Yeah, a little better. Yeah, his footwork is still the same. He's flat-footed. He's very heavy on his feet. But you saw his last fight with Skull. He couldn't touch Skull. I mean, he was a runner. He was a Cuban runner, but he couldn't touch Skull. It was incredible. It was amazing. It was just like the fight with Lara. He couldn't touch Lara. So there's a reason why fighters think that if they move a little against Canelo, they have boxing abilities against Canelo, they might beat him. And I'm pretty sure Crawford is thinking, well,
but Terence is a different type of fighter. He's not just a mover. He's going to mix it up.
Oh, yeah.
And to his credit, that was early in his career. Maybe 135 wasn't a good weight. Maybe he could absorb more punches because he's been hit. He was hit by Majimov. He was hit by Spence. He didn't get hurt then. So maybe he has a tougher chin.
And not just that, Gamboa was the fastest guy alive. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he didn't see that shot. Canelo got hit by Matthew Hatton, and he got rocked, but he was 19. So as they've gotten older,
Cotto,
no one's really been able to, yeah, but he didn't wobble him. So no one's really been able to hurt neither one of them recently.
Yeah.
So, but I think Cotto, obviously Canelo has the power to hurt anyone. You know,
yeah,
obviously.
I mean, power's a lot.
Powerful guy.
In this game, means a lot. If you can't keep your guy off.
He's gone 12 rounds with Dimitri Bivol, a natural light heavyweight, and never once backed down. The man's chin is granite. So here's the million-dollar question. If even Golovkin and Bivol couldn't break Canelo, how on earth is a natural welterweight like Crawford supposed to hurt him? But Bomac has an answer for that too. He insists Crawford doesn't need to match Canelo's power, pound for pound. He just needs to be sharper, smarter, and faster. Skills pay the bills, Bomac said, with a smirk that almost sounded like a warning shot. And just like that, the stage was set. The trainer believes the impossible isn't just possible, it's inevitable. So who's right? The skeptics who say Crawford's walking into a lion's den with no escape, or the belief.
One more thing. It don't matter if Canelo is on that. He ain't beat no Terence Crawford. You heard it here first. Plus, I look at the performances of Canelo. I look at his last performances. I mean, they've been all right, you know. They ain't been like, you know, wow, you know, blew me away. So I'm not really worried about all of that. And the same thing goes with Crawford. I know he's with Snack, and I know some news came out this week and all of that, but I personally believe that Snack...
Who insist Bud is about to shock the world and prove that boxing is still, above all else, a game of skill. Because if Bomac is right, this fight isn't just about titles or weight classes. It's about proving that in the end, size doesn't matter, only greatness does. Rumors have always been the fuel that keeps boxing's fire burning. And when it comes to a potential showdown between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, the whispers are deafening. One of the most explosive claims making the rounds in gyms and social media is that Canelo Alvarez boxing's iron-chinned.
I think it's a conflict of interest, the fact that, hey, he knows how to beat the system, quote unquote, Mick Conte, but at the same time, I think Snack, you got products going around the world, this and that. I mean, all these athletes are testing. They're not testing anything or positive by using Snack at all. So I think it's safe. There's no doubt about it. So with that being said, I'm not worried about that as long as they test it.
Superstar was badly troubled in sparring by none other than Jaron Boots Ennis. Now Ennis isn't just any fighter, he's young, hungry, and already being compared to the likes of a prime Roy Jones Jr., slick, explosive, and unpredictable. But here's the catch: some people claim that the problems Canelo reportedly had with Ennis mirror the same style Crawford brings to the ring. The switch hitting, the counters, the ability to adapt on the fly. If Canelo really struggled against Boots in the gym, what does that say about his chances against Crawford, a man who's perfected those tools at the championship level? Of course, Brian Bomac McIntyre was quick to pour cold water on those comparisons. His response was fiery, almost dismissive. Boots
past his best. He's had over 65s. Made a fortune. Why is he even still fighting? But this is a super fight against Crawford. But it could go wrong for him. He could end up losing. Whoever loses, it'll be an upset, because the amount of people that think Crawford's going to win. Crawford's certainly an unbelievable bad boy fighter, proper good fighter. Then you've got Canelo, who just understands it.
Ain't no Crawford, he shot back. And he's right, in a way Crawford isn't just another slick fighter. He's a master of breaking opponents down round by round, of turning fights into psychological battles that force even the toughest warriors to crumble. For Bomac, Ennis may be talented, but Bud is on a completely different level. Smarter, sharper, and deadlier. And then came another bombshell that sent shockwaves through the boxing world. The whispers that Floyd Money Mayweather himself might be aligning with Crawford's camp.
That's not easy for Crawford. I mean, it's Canelo has the big advantage, but Crawford needs to manage well his body, his speed, and his power, because he's moving up to another level of weight.
That sink in for a moment. Mayweather, the man who embarrassed Canelo in front of the world back in 2013, possibly coaching, advising, or even just lending his expertise to Crawford. The idea alone had fans buzzing with theories. Some argued it was pure gossip, a manufactured headline to stir hype. Others swore it had legs, pointing to Floyd's occasional praise of Crawford and his open disdain for how Canelo has handled certain fights. Imagine the storyline: the master who once schooled Canelo, returning to help another genius tactician do it again. Years later, it would be more than just a fight, it would be a
Terence Crawford, does he have an opportunity to beat Canelo?
I think if anybody has a chance to beat Canelo, I think it's Terence Crawford. His IQ is on another level. He's a great fighter and he's strong. It's just that it's a lot of weight. I wouldn't be surprised if Terence Crawford wins. Wouldn't be surprised if he loses either. Terence Crawford, when he went up against the best opposition, like Errol Spence, he showed what level he's on, what type of dog he is. So I don't know. You really have to let these fights play out to see what happens. He might get hurt. That might activate him to come back strong.
Could you still make 68?
I don't want to make 68.
No, I know you don't. Terence wins 68.
Yeah, well, if that's, yeah, I can make.
Continuation of a rivalry that's lingered in the shadows for over a decade, but even without Mayweather, Crawford already carries the aura of a problem Canelo has never solved. Southpaw stance. He can do it. Orthodox. He can switch mid-round counterpunching. He thrives on it. Pressure. He flips it back on opponents until they're drowning. It's exactly the type of puzzle that could frustrate even a seasoned veteran, like Canelo, who prefers measured opponents who fight in straight lines. Still, the cynics aren't convinced. They argue sparring stories are just that, stories. They happen behind closed doors, where truth gets twisted and retold until it barely resembles reality. And Mayweather rumors. Boxing has thrived on fantasy, matchups, and what-ifs for decades. Until we see Floyd in Crawford's corner, it's nothing more than smoke and
them both. Like, what are the differences between them?
Canelo's strong and is easily hit. Very easily hit, very easily. Compared to when I fought against Crawford, I couldn't hit clean. They both hit hard because, and you could see the strength when I was fighting against Crawford. He is very strong as well. So, look, yeah, but why does he need to give that much away? He's pound for pound #1 in the world. Why does he have to go for fighting?
Crawford could beat him because Crawford is a big 147 fighter and is strong as well, which a lot of people don't give him the credit for. I think that fight, if it does happen, as long as Crawford stays away and just boxes and be smart, he can win that fight. I think Crawford's a better fighter than Charlo, and he's a smart fighter as well. He switches and everything, so that would be a very good fight.
But here's the question fans can't stop asking. If even the rumors are true, if Canelo really did struggle with Ennis, if Floyd really is whispering secrets to Crawford, are we about to witness the ultimate trap being set? A fight where the king walks into the ring thinking he's in control, only to realize he's playing someone else's game. Because if that's the case, Canelo Alvarez may not just be fighting Terence Crawford, he may be fighting fate itself. For all the hype, for all the strategy, one brutal truth hangs over this fight like a shadow. Size. Boxing has weight classes for a reason, and Canelo Alvarez has spent the last...
I feel like Bug could beat him easy.
How though? What are your thoughts on Terence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez? Terence going up another 2 weight classes. Just got to 54, he's skipping 60, going straight to 68, talking about what's going on.
I feel like once he beat Canelo, that will be like one of the greatest resumes in boxing ever, just because of the fact that he's going up 2 divisions just to fight this guy, and this guy's bigger than him. And not only did you just crush Errol Spence, but you go out there and the way that he beats Canelo too. If he go out there and just dominate and make it an easy fight, honestly, I think that that's gonna be like one of the best resumes I ever see. But as far as the fight, I feel like Bug could beat him easy.
How though? Don't give me everything, just how is it?
For me, it's a blueprint already. Floyd was a lot smaller than Canelo when he fought him. You keep Canelo on the outside. I ain't gonna even say too much, but you keep him on the outside.
This decade bulldozing through divisions that Terence Crawford has never touched. Analysts like Aid Oladipo have already sounded the alarm. Crawford, they argue, is naturally wiry, built for speed and rhythm, not brute strength. At lightweight, and even at 140 pounds, he looked lean, almost skinny. Now he's bulked up into a chiseled frame north of 170. The transformation is undeniable. Pictures from training camp show a man who looks more like a middleweight gladiator than the sharp, fluid welterweight the world is used to. But is that really an advantage or a trap? Oladipo's concern is simple. Crawford's gift has never been raw power. His magic comes from his...
If he don't do the right thing, which I don't see him doing, I don't know why he would at this point in his career. I don't know. It'll all be predicated upon how well Terence can take his punch.
Yeah. You said you don't think, or you don't look into the weight difference. Why?
When you know how to box, when you're as skillful as Terence Crawford is, weight don't really matter.
Timing, his footwork, his ability to hit opponents with shots they never saw coming. By bulking up, does he risk slowing himself down? sacrificing the very weapons that make him special. Against a fighter like Canelo, who's absorbed bombs from Gennady Golovkin, Sergey Kovalev, and Dmitry Bivol, trying to win a strength-for-strength battle might be suicide. Because let's be honest, nobody, and I mean nobody, has truly cracked Canelo's chin. Golovkin landed missiles. Kovalev tested him with clean, heavy jabs. Bivol tagged him repeatedly with combinations. And through it all, Canelo never folded. He's walked through the fire of some of the hardest punchers in the sport without so much as a knockdown. So when skeptics say Crawford can't hurt him, it's not disrespect, it's history. It's physics. Yet Crawford supporters point to a crucial difference: unpredictability. They argue that Canelo's granite chin has held up because he saw the punches coming. Golovkin's power telegraphed Kovalev's shots. Straightforward, but Crawford's brilliance is that his punches come from angles opponents don't expect. They don't just land, they surprise. And the punch that hurts the most is always the one you never see. Bomac has leaned into that philosophy. Skills pay the bills. For him, it's not about whether Crawford hits harder than Golovkin or Bivol. It's about whether Crawford can disguise his intent, break Canelo's rhythm, and land the kind of punch that bypasses raw toughness with pure craft. Still, the risk is clear. Adding too much bulk can drain stamina. If Crawford slows down even slightly, Canelo's pressure could suffocate him. Imagine Crawford slipping punches in the early rounds, only to find his legs heavy in the later stages. Imagine the hunter becoming the hunted. Against a natural super middleweight like Canelo, fatigue could mean disaster. This is why the debate rages. Is Crawford's bulked-up physique a sign of new power, or is it a red flag that he's moved too far away from what made him great? Because in boxing, the truth doesn't lie in the gym or on paper. The truth shows up under the lights, when fists fly and the body is pushed beyond its limits. And when that moment comes, we'll find out if Crawford's gamble was brilliance, or a mistake that cost him everything. But the real storm isn't just about a single invitation. It's about what this invitation represents. Taylor Swift, whether she intended it or not, just set the tone for an entirely new kind of social power struggle. And Meghan Markle, she may have just realized that this battle isn't going to be fought with interviews, memoirs, or carefully curated Netflix deals. It's being fought in the most unexpected places: concert arenas, celebrity guest lists, and the court of public opinion. Because here's the thing: when Kate Middleton shows up at an Eras Tour concert, it's not just about her enjoying a night of music. It's a symbol, it's a message, and it's a statement that resonates across continents. The cameras flash, the fans scream, the headlines explode, and suddenly, Meghan Markle is nowhere in the frame. She's erased from the narrative without anyone even needing to say her name. And you better believe Meghan is not taking that lightly. Sources close to her circle are whispering that this felt like a calculated move. After all, Taylor Swift had reportedly been approached by Meghan's team before, but the collaboration never materialized. Fast forward, and suddenly Kate's the one being welcomed into Taylor's orbit. If that's not a pointed rejection, then what is it? Now, the real question is, will Meghan strike back? Because if history tells us anything, it's that Meghan doesn't just sit quietly when she feels sidelined. She moves, she speaks, she makes waves. Could this mean another explosive interview? Another Netflix-style expo, or even a sudden appearance at another celebrity's event to remind the world that she, too, holds influence? Insiders say Meghan has already been reaching out to her own A-list connections, exploring ways to counter this Kate moment. And don't forget, Hollywood is a place where alliances shift faster than the wind. Today, it's Kate and Taylor. Tomorrow, it could be Meghan and another superstar ready to append the entire narrative. But even with all that, the damage may already be done, because perception is power. And right now, the perception is that Taylor Swift chose sides and she didn't choose Meghan. That single decision could ripple across everything Meghan and Harry have tried to build. From their independent brand to their public image as victims turned power players, everything is suddenly under pressure. And here's the final twist: this may not even be about Meghan or Kate. Some say Taylor Swift was sending a message to the royal family as a whole, aligning with the future queen, embracing tradition, and planting herself firmly in history's good books. If that's true, then Meghan isn't just up against Kate, she's up against a system that thrives on symbolism. And right now, the symbols are all stacked against her. So the only question that remains is, can Meghan rewrite the script one more time, or has this invitation already rewritten it for her? Because in the world of fame, power, and influence, sometimes it's the smallest gestures that deliver the loudest blows.